This is Inside Hart Football with head coach Rance Gillespie and your host, Doc Ayers. Recorded in Studio 604B at the new Hart College and Career Academy. Here's your host, Doc Ayers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside Hart County Football for the 26th day of October. Inside Hart County Football is brought to you each week by Pierce Built Homes. Charlie and Kim Pierce, owners and operators of Pierce Built Homes. Joined by Coach Rance Gillespie. Morgan County. We knew they were going to be a good football team, but like I told you before they walked down there, they were a real good-looking football team.
Yeah, they were. They had some good-looking kids, and talking with Coach Malone, he feels like this is one of his better teams that he's had since he's been there this year and last year. Didn't lose a lot off of last year's team. I know they lost the big D lineman that's playing at South Carolina now, but very talented team. The thing that I was so impressed with was their strength up front and the motor that they played with. They played like a good football team.
The thing that impressed me was our guys responded and played well, just couldn't quite either make a play or sustain a play long enough to get something positive to happen.
Well, I thought that overall defensively we played pretty well. There were a couple of plays that we didn't make that we need to make in order to win that football game. Obviously offensively, we left some plays on the field, and we were unable to consistently run the ball like we would like, and then we've got to make a couple of plays over the top when we get some of those opportunities, and for whatever reason, and there's a number of reasons that they go into throwing the football. Everybody used to talk about option football being the ultimate team football because your running backs block and carry and do all of those things. But when you start talking about throwing the football, that's really ultimate team football. You have to have people that can protect. You have to have a guy that can throw it. And you have to have people that can catch it. So a lot of times that's it's more than just one guy, one thing that goes into throwing the football.
And it's all three have to work at the same time for it to be successful.
Absolutely.
All right, let's look at the first half. And we kick off, and I thought it was an omen. Their first play from scrimmage, they line up the shotgun. You knew they were going to throw the ball. Their quarterback's about just a little bit under 2,000 yards, and the snap goes over his head.
Yeah, we get a break here and get them backed up, and we make some good plays on some balls. And are able to come away with the stop here on the opening drive, and a good play there out of Monte, breaking up the pass over the middle, and we get the ball in good field position to start the game.
Yeah. Get the ball on, I believe, just inside the 40-yard line, and have an opportunity.
Yeah, we come out on first down, and I thought the zone play for us at times was pretty decent. We matched some things at times pretty well, and get the ball out on the perimeter on the option here, and get the ball pitched to Tay. Tay does a nice job and completed the screen, and we've been effective with our screen game all year long, and get a first down conversion. This is a big down here. We get to 4th and inches and tried to draw them off sides, didn't, and come back and run the power and end up with a big first down. So got some things going our way, and again at times we couldn't get out of our own way with some of the penalties and some of those things. And got Deacle running there, and got to those are some of those things that I'm talking about, where we just got to find a way to convert a couple of those plays. And this is a totally different ball game. We're right there and really close to winning this football game the other night.
Great job there on the coverage.
I thought our secondary's really improved throughout the year, and we're starting to understand our coverages and how to match things, and and do the things that we're supposed to on the back end and play with more discipline.
Again, get the ball really good field position near the 40.
And just again, just overthrow a little bit here, or, not quite in the right spot that we're supposed to be on a couple of our routes, and we couldn't get a couple of those things going that we needed to in this football game.
Get a little pressure on that punt, and then they get the ball down to around the 40.
Yeah, I thought they did a really nice job fitting the speed sweep there and getting the ball out and getting a big play. And that was one of the few plays that we did not play very well defensively.
I think they wound up less than 200 yards for the ball game, and 70 of them were on 2 plays. So.
Right. And I think we wound up with somewhere close to the tune of 300.
Yeah.
And and again, some of ours was on big plays as well. Thought we did a good job with our fast screens. We got a big play later on in the game out of one, and get the ball down the field. And we're close here to converting a first down, and end up not. And that was a big thing. We just didn't, even though we weren't able to score, you want to at least flip the field a little bit. And this, probably more than people realize, became a game of field position.
A punter's duel, so to speak. Get quarterback loose on the option.
Yeah, and the quarterback did a really nice job running the ball. He's a bigger kid than he looks. He's probably 6'3", and I'd say if he's not over 200, he's really close to it. And good physical runner.
Good break on the ball there.
Yeah, and Monte's just a freshman, and he's doing a really good job for us back there. I thought our front played well, fit their zone schemes, and especially well the other night. And of course, we've seen that for a couple of weeks now. And the more you see something, the better you're going to get at it.
Get the kickoff to the end zone.
Really impressed with their kicker. He kicks a big field goal for them there, and anytime you can put the ball in the end zone in high school football, that's a weapon in and of itself.
Exactly. Goes back to field position. O'Neal on the keeper.
Yeah, we get a big play there. O'Neal does a good job running the ball, and we followed it up with a gain of 4 and got a little something going here. And then we just we make a bad decision on this pitch and put it on the ground, and they get the ball back at the 50 again.
But defense bows its head.
Yeah, it's a good play, and out of Jalen there on 11. 11's a big kid, good receiver that's made a lot of plays for him throughout the year, and I think pretty much we kept him quiet other than a play or two. And Simeon played one of his better football games at his outside linebacker spot, and did have a good break on that ball there. Getting the ball backed up, and again, when you're backed up, we want to try to move the ball out, running the football, and try to get it out to midfield, and take a shot here or there, and try to control some things where we've got an opportunity to stay in this football game. And get the punt there again, and starting on our side of the 50.
Getting the power there.
And good fit out of Jerrion Sapp from safety position, and again, just those run fits out of the safeties are big, and the way we play defense in our quarters coverage, and they did a nice job with fitting those for the most part.
Still don't know about that one.
The ball down
on the 5.
Down to the 5, and they throw the fade in the end zone, and big guy just kind of goes up and goes over the top of us. in position, and
Yeah.
guy just made a really good play on the ball.
But again, come back and get the kick return here. Get it out to the 25 and get a chance to go down and get some points.
Yeah, Tevin is getting better and better and better each and every week as a returner, and
He has a big one.
doing some really nice things for us. And that's a big one to start the second half, and felt like we had a little momentum.
Just missed there. Have to punt it again. Good coverage.
Yeah, I think our coverage on our punt team has gotten better throughout the year, and kids are starting to understand their lanes and where they're supposed to fit. Good play out of Simeon on the perimeter on the bubble screen, and I thought we did a good job containing their quick game and making them throw the ball down the field.
Good tackle. Good breakup.
Get the ball backed up right here before the half. So we're going to start on the 5-yard line, but we're actually put together probably, well, no doubt, our best drive of the night. And O'Neal starts it off there with a counter, and it's blocked well up front, and then get a play right behind it with our zone play with Tay on the wide zone there. And some of those things are starting to look like they're supposed to, and getting kids to fit the way that they're supposed to, and playing pretty decent.
Almost got out the back door on that one. 95 yards. I think this drive is 14 plays.
Yeah, and that's we've done that a couple of times this year, and anytime you're able to do it against a really good football team, it speaks volumes for what we're capable of doing. Mm-hmm. So, and there's a 80 screen into the boundary. I think Tevin was our leading receiver this week, and played a good football game. Crew Phillips played a good football game on the perimeter for us as well, and some guys that are starting to step up and make some plays for us.
Just missed there. Takes a chance on the long ball.
Get the ball off tackle, and again, just trying to find a way to move the sticks and give us an opportunity to get a score here before half. Big play there out of PJ over the middle on a concept that we've spent a lot of time on and have gotten better and better. It's a nice play,
yeah.
And it's a good effort out of Tevin to try to get it out of bounds and having an awareness of what's going on. So, and we cap it off with a quarterback run there from about the 5, but a really nice drive and a really good mix of our kids executing some of our pass game, some of our run game, and a couple of screens thrown in there.
Really, right back in the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it was a big deal for us to put those points on the board right before the half, and to come out and get a stop as well, because we actually left them a little time going into the half here.
So it's 17-7 at the half. Yeah, I was talking on the radio at the half. The ball game had a lot of similarities at that point to the game with Stevens a couple of weeks ago. Get the score right before the half, get the ball back at the start of the second half.
Right, and we even talked about that at halftime, and defensively we felt like if we could come out and hold them, that we'd find a way to put enough points on the board to win the football game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen that way this week.
Okay, all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the second half highlights, and we'll talk about tomorrow night's game at Monroe area. You're watching Inside Hart County Football with Coach Rance Gillespie. We'll be right back.
The Hart County College and Career Academy provides new and improved learning opportunities to students in our community. With new technology and equipment in every classroom, students have the resources to ensure a better education. We guarantee that the Hart County College and Career Academy will further prepare students for their future and their careers. Hart County College and Career Academy, preparing students for their future.
The Hart County High School 5th and Campbell store is selling t-shirts during home football games. Come by and buy a gray shirt for $15 or a black and white shirt for $20. We will be at the front gate. All proceeds go to the store run by Hart County High School students.
Hart County High School is about academics, sports and training, bulldog chow, reading, teamwork, brilliant minds, preparing for the future. Hart County High School is the school made for us.
Welcome back to Inside Hart County Football with Coach Rance Gillespie. Coach, 17-7, you get the score right before the half, come out and get the kickoff return.
Right, had a lot of momentum. Like I said, Tevin put together a big return, and we fit it well.
Yeah.
And get the ball out to midfield, and felt like that was, the turning point. You've put together a 95-yard drive. You come out, you have a big return. So we were excited about where we were sitting at that point.
Let's look at the second half highlights, and it starts with the kickoff return.
Again, in so many areas, our special teams continue to improve and get a good block out of our back end there under wedge, and Tevin runs the ball hard and has really improved as we've gone through the year with his returns.
Come out, get two running plays, and they do a good job responding.
Yeah, and like I said, I thought their kids played with a good motor, and I thought they had some strength up front.
And this is on third down, forced to punt.
So our thinking now is that we're able to maybe flip the field a little bit and make them play on their end for a while.
Good job by the white shirts responding to the ball.
I thought Clay Vaughn played a really good football game. Ran around well and played good physical football for us, as well as most of our front. Corbin continues to improve, and Corbin is just a 10th grader, and he's got a lot of really good football in front of him. Cuckoo is playing good football for us at the 3 and the nose. So we've got a lot to look forward to over the next couple of years.
Good job there.
It's a good play out of Clay.
Yeah. Recognized and responded.
Bring a little bit of pressure and got people trying to just, a lot of times when you get pressure, the pressure is almost as good as a sack. If you make the ball come out, and as a quarterback, you don't let him set his feet and those things. And I thought, we made him move in the pocket with some of the pressure at times.
Like I said, he'd been averaging. We had about 1,800 yards coming into the ball game, and was less than 100 Friday night. So great, really a good job all the way around.
Yeah, I thought we played pretty well defensively.
Missed there.
Just a little behind PJ on a play that was similar to one that we ran in the first half, but it was not the same call. Good job out of Tizaiah. Tizaiah was our special teams player of the week this week. Played really well on our punt team, and did a good job showing the flash like we want our gunners to do. on that. A good fit out of Kirby. And Kirby's been a solid guy for us defensively, and a good fit out of him on the backside of the power there. He get called for a pass interference, and so they're going to get another shot at it and do a good job getting pressure on it. They actually picked that flag up on that one. Good job inside, and Tay had another solid game for us, and just letting them feed off of each other, and which is big, and just trying to get some things mashed up front, and you can kind of feel another drive coming, and able to move the ball, get a couple of first downs, and do a couple of good things here. And just got to be able to finish this. And it's another spot where we're really close to running this thing to a 20 to 14 ball game, and we just got to be able to find a way to convert that first down.
Good job there up front.
Yeah, Corbin getting loose and getting some bodies around the football. When you watch us, there's things that that we have really improved on with our fits up front. At times our pad level is still high, but we're starting to play better with our hands. We're starting to understand what it means to control a gap. And those are things that as a coach that you get really excited about. A really nice play there out of Kirby off the edge, and stop them to 4th and 1, and make them punt.
You keep referring to the learning curve with this bunch. The learning curve has been great for this team, but it has really come a long way since back in August.
Yeah, I think we're a much better football team than the first game of the year. I think our kids have played hard for the most part throughout the season. But I think our kids are playing a better brand of football as well. We're still making way too many mistakes in certain respects, more than the coaches or myself want to see, and more than I'm sure our kids want. But there's so many things that we have gotten better at.
Get the punt down to 5.
Yeah, and that's a couple of weeks in a row there that we've been able to pin a punt, and that is it's kind of hard to go 95 when you get somebody pinned. The chances of you going 95 yards on a drive are, I want to say it's like less than 15%. So that's a big deal.
Almost get through there for the block.
And get close to getting that ball out, and try to go put a little pressure on it. Run the power over there to the left hand side, and able to get Luke in at quarterback, and play O'Neal back at running back some, and it continues to be a good combination for us, and something that we will continue to do for the remainder of the year. I think Luke has done some nice things when he's been in at quarterback. That's a really good read out of him there, getting to a second progression on a little stick play, and but once again we're moving the ball and get it down here, and then just unable to finish a drive.
Good play there up front again.
Yep. Clay off the edge again, and good job fitting the run there.
We got everybody where they're supposed to be.
Everybody's
covered.
Got everybody covered up on the back end, and so able to do some good things there. Luke's athletic enough to extend some plays with his feet, and did a good job of that a couple of times. A couple of areas where we need to improve up front on our pass protection, but they've got a couple of guys up front that are really good pass rushers too, and so you got to give them the credit that they deserve as well. Good play there out of Simeon. Defeats the block, makes a tackle, and makes a good play.
Good cover there on the sweep. Ball down to 32.
We're in a situation now where we're gonna have to throw the ball down the field and try to force some things, and as the clock's running out, makes everything a little bit harder, including the pass protection, and and getting some people open on the back end. Really athletic play there out of O'Neal to extend the play and just get the ball off.
Draws the personal foul there to get the first down.
Had a roughing the passer call on it.
Yeah.
And again, O'Neal plays with his heart, and I think you witnessed that if you watch the kid play on Friday night, and does he's fun to watch play. He's a competitor. Get this ball out here to Tevin. And Tevin's really gifted, runs really well, really good runner, good block there out of PJ, and almost goes the distance. That was the last play of the game.
Last play of the game. Put that one behind us. Let's talk about tomorrow night. Another spread team, but this spread team is not like that one.
No, they're different. They're driven by their quarterback, and everybody seems to think that they're a one-man show. And the quarterback has put together a really, really good year. But anytime you've had an individual that's had that type of year as an individual, there's a lot of people that are playing really good football around him, and that's certainly the case with Monroe. They've got a good back. They've got some good receivers that make plays for the kid on the perimeter, and you've seen them really improve up front offensively as the years go along.
Now they come in at 7-1. The only common opponent is Jackson, and how common is it? 42-14, 44-14. So
right. Yep.
Remarkable.
Yeah, and defensively, they've got a good football team as well. They're going to be in an odd front, a 3-4 front, and they're not quite the same as Morgan and Jackson, but there are some similarities between those two teams, and schematically, they've got a defensive end that is a big kid. He's 6'3", 240 pounds, and really good high school football player. And they'll be really pretty when they walk out on the field. Okay. The back end is athletic, and not as many of their kids are playing both ways. I know the tailback does go back and play some safety, and when he does, he's really good on both sides of the ball.
Thank you for watching Inside Hart County
Their
Football.
linebackers run around really good.
Of Hart
but
College and
their
Career
front
Academy
will be another good front that we need to step up and find a way to move around.
Coach, 2 games left. You hate to use this word about playoffs.
Right.
We're in, barring something catastrophic.
There's still a couple of things that have to happen. You know, the Jackson and East Jackson game is you know, going to be a factor in that thing. Our game's certainly a factor. You would like to think that that the winner of this football game is going to finish in the 2-hole. But there's, you know, East Jackson is still going to have a say in all that. So you know, with our region, it's always going to come down to the last game, and you know, certainly we want to be prepared for the different scenarios, but at the same time, we want to keep our focus on the play at hand.
The first scenario to be taken care of is Monroe.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. That does it for tonight. Need a large crowd down at Monroe tomorrow night. Region 8 AAA game. A lot of things going on the table as far as playoffs and playoff seedings. These young people that have earned the right to have a large crowd, a large and noisy crowd. So look forward to seeing a lot of people at Monroe tomorrow night. For Coach Rance Gillespie, this is Doc Ayers saying thank you, good night, and we'll see you next week on This Week in Hart County Football.
Thank you for watching Inside Hart County Football. This has been a production of Hart College and Career Academy video production class.